Hey guys, it's Bobby, and welcome to this week's episode of Kerns Korner. As you all can probably tell from the title of this video, today's rant involves me emotionally scarring a child. Don't worry, it's actually not as bad of a story as you're expecting it to be. The scene was carowinds. So for the last couple of years, me and my brother have had season passes to carowinds, and we used to try to go at least a couple times every month, although last year with me being in school, didn't necessarily happen that way all the time, but it was still alright. This particular day, we also took Chris, my friend. I referenced him 2 weeks in a row. He must be feeling good. But we took Chris along, and we were having fun. It was just like a normal day at Carowinds, and yeah, we were just hanging out, riding rides. It was all good. The ride that we had been obsessed with all day had been Fury, and we had rode it maybe at least 6 or 7 times. It was intense. We were getting in line for like our 8th time riding it or something like that, and all of a sudden this little kid just walks up to us and goes, "Hey, is it just you 3 riding?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Can I ride?" A little backstory. Fury seats 4 people in one row, and so this kid counted 3 of us, and he didn't want to ride alone, so he asked us if we could ride. Of course, we said yes, being the kind people that we are. So now we're standing in line, the 4 of us, just waiting for this ride, and I'm talking to this kid. Here lies the problem. This kid won't shut up.
Stop babbling, boy!
Like, he just keeps talking and talking and talking. He doesn't ever stop talking the entire time when we're waiting on this ride. Like, I'm so glad that the line wasn't that long. It wasn't very crowded, because he literally just kept talking, didn't stop. I looked over at Chris. He did not look too happy with this child. Like, I don't know how you even interact with children ever, because you can't handle this one child talking. But me, being a nice person, I'm a talkative person as well, so I understand. So I was talking with the kid, and he eventually got on the topic of how he'd never ridden the ride before, and how he had been dared to do it. And I was like, interesting. So I tried to turn it into a teaching moment, and I was like, "Hey, kid," I still don't remember that kid's name. It was something weird. I don't remember his name. But, "Hey, kid, everything that people dare you to do, you can't always do, because sometimes you'll end up in like really bad situations, and that's where like peer pressure comes in. But roller coasters, they're perfectly fine. There's nothing like wrong with like being dared to do a roller coaster and doing it, as long as you feel like safe and you're fine about it." And he seemed to understand, and I was like, "Oh, good. I did a good thing today. I assisted a child in riding a roller coaster, and you know, I taught him something about peer pressure. I'm feeling good about myself." So a couple minutes went by, and we were finally ready to load the ride. Chris looked me dead in the face and told me that there was no way on God's green earth that he was sitting beside Chatterbox. So Chris sat on my right, then me, then the kid, then my brother on the other side of him. By now, I could tell that the kid was a little nervous. Mainly because he was staring at the drop directly in front of us, like Jesus was like physically manifesting in front of him, just kind of like. So I'm trying to calm him down and convince him that everything's gonna be fine and that the drop's not even as big as he's thinking it is, but it's not working. All of a sudden we hear, "Riders, are you ready?" Yeah! So naturally, I look forward at the giant behemoth of a hill that we're about to be dropped down the other side of. Then I turn back to the kid. Bad idea. This kid is now bawling his eyes out, like flooding our row with his tears, and I'm just like, "Lord in heaven above, why?" I mean, I was trying to be a good person. I mean, I really was. I mean, I told him about peer pressure. I convinced him that this was all gonna be fine. I was like, this is all going great. Now, I'm Noah without the ark. So now, I'm feeling even worse for trying to convince a child to do something they're obviously not emotionally stable enough to do. And remember, I'm the guy that just told him 5 minutes ago, "Oh, this dare is perfectly fine. There's not a single problem." So now we're climbing up a track the length of a football field, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. I mean, anything, like anything at all possible that I can do. I'm so desperate in this time of need that I'm not even joking. I looked over to him and I went, "Do you want to hold my hand?" This kid doesn't even know me. This kid has never met me before in his life until maybe 15 minutes ago. And I'm offering emotional support like I'm his therapist or something. "Do you want to hold my hand? It's gonna be okay." Like, God, what is happening? And as you can assume, he definitely turned down my hand. So we just kept climbing in silence. If silence is how you describe the bawling screams of an 8-year-old. So we keep climbing and keep climbing and keep climbing, and we finally get to the top, and then we drop. And this kid does something that surprises me a whole lot. He stopped crying. His tears turned to laughter as he realized it's all right. And I was like, thank God. In this moment, I realized 2 things. One, A lot of times, life is just like that kid on that roller coaster. You're going through really hard things and you don't really understand how you're going to be able to make it, and it just seems like a constant uphill battle of just horrible thing after horrible thing after horrible thing. But once you get to the top, you realize that things always have the potential to be better, and that God is always bringing you through whatever you're going through if you trust in Him. The second thing I realized was that I was not going to have to get off of this roller coaster with a screaming 8-year-old child and tell his parents how he randomly found us, and then I was not the one that convinced him to cry. Like, thank God he stopped crying. How am I supposed to fix that situation? Like, oh, sorry, you shouldn't have been a stupid parent and let your 8-year-old child get on a roller coaster with random strangers. Like, come on, like, come on. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, there was nothing I was supposed to do there. I'm so glad he stopped crying. I'm so glad. The more and more I think about that day, though, the more I'm grateful that it happened, because it's just a memory that I can use to tell other people of how things can get better, and it's just something funny to look at. Alright, so for this week's kind of music-related segment, we're gonna do a new segment called Forgotten in Time. This segment is kind of funny because it makes fun of the fact that I just have 5,000 projects always going on at one time, and so things always fall to the wayside. So, in this hat, I have taken a bunch of the ideas that I have once had at some point in time, some even before my channel and some after, and I've wrote them on pieces of paper. We're just gonna see what happens when I pick one out. Yeah, let's begin. I'm a little nervous about this because I've written a lot of things down, and yeah, we're gonna find out. Let's see what this first thing is. This first thing is... Okay, I love writing parodies, and so I was going to do a Bodak Yellow parody of The Wizard of Oz, and it was going to be Dorothy rapping about her shoes, her red shoes, these are bloody shoes. Yeah, it's interesting idea, but yeah, that never happened. I actually started writing it, and it was funny, but yeah, didn't happen. So, you know, forgotten. Let us see. Ha! Wow, we're just hitting all the parodies today. Okay, this was just like a spare of the moment thing, and it never actually like was in production or anything. But this was a parody of Ultralight Beam by Kanye West, and it was going to be about sleep deprivation and how instead of we on that ultralight beam, we on that ultralight beam, it's gonna be I wanna go back to sleep, I wanna go back to sleep, this is a real dream, this was a real dream, it was everything. So it's gonna be something playing along the lines of sleep. I had a really good idea for it, but it was gonna be too much work for something that wasn't really that important, so I scratched it. Alright. This is... Okay, this song is called Shot in the Dark. And this song was actually supposed to come out on my channel months ago, before the summer, but I was having computer troubles, and so I wasn't able to actually finish the video, because the song is produced, the music video has been shot, I just don't have the ability to edit it, because it was going to be a lyric video, but it was going to be a different type of lyric video, and that's all I'm going to say. And my computer, it was just loading things really slow, and it made it impossible to actually edit at like a reasonable pace. But I don't know, maybe that song will actually come up. Let me see if I remember how to play that. It's been a while. It's been like months since I've tried to play this. Alright. So let's take a shot in the dark. I don't know what we're aiming for. We can see what this will bring, long as you're beside of me. So let's take a shot in the dark. Roll the dice and take the leap. Hand in hand, I'll be your man if we take a shot in the dark. Yeah, so that was a song I wrote a long time ago. It's supposed to come out. Who knows? Maybe it will. I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to end up pulling. I'm just going to go till I feel like this has lasted too long. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is a Christian song that I wrote. Ooh, I don't even know how many years ago. This was at least early high school, like very early high school. But I think it goes... Give me a sec. Okay, I think I got the chorus down. It goes a little something like this. I just wanna say... Ooh, bad start. I just wanna say you're there for me every day, like you do. You know you give me new life. You're my best friend. Watch out for me no matter when, like you do. Lord, you do every one, and for that you have my heart. Oh, 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 and for that you have my heart. Oh, oh, oh. I think I'm gonna do 2 more maybe, depending on how long this next one is. Oh, yeah, this is definitely gonna be the last one. So, when I watch movies, I get a lot of inspiration. So the other month, I was watching The Big Sick, which was, I can never remember the guy's name, but he's a comedian, and he wrote a movie about how his wife went into a coma. But it really inspired me a lot. So I started writing a short film right after I saw that movie. Like, literally, I saw the movie, I closed my laptop, and then I reopened my laptop, opened OneNote, and started just writing a thing. I don't even know, it was about this kid in this photo contest, and he ends up like meeting this girl. It was a lot of stuff. It was a very good idea. Maybe I'll finish it one day. It's hard to write sometimes when you have no idea how your ideas are going to be actually made into reality, especially when you have as many ideas as I do. Every day I have tons of ideas. Some of them I can use in this show. Some of these ideas, they're just too big. Like, I've started writing, there's another short film actually on this thing. I have Inspiration, The Big Sick, and then Human Condition. There was another short film I started writing the same night, which was called Human Condition. I never finished that one either. I got a lot of unfinished projects, hence this segment. But yeah, it was like Human Condition, and it was different. It was about this writer. You were following him through his experiences in life, and he was using those to write his book. And he was like making different observations and talking about like the human condition and all this stuff. And that was a pretty good idea, although that takes a lot of brain power to do. So I see why that one didn't work out. Alright, so if you like getting a deep dive into my mind, I don't know, let me know in the comments and I'll bring this segment back. There's plenty of things that I've forgotten, and there's also still like an abundance of things that we can talk about. So you guys leave in the comments if you want this section back or not, and I'll bring it back sometime soon. Today, Kerns Korner is brought to you by the feeling of accidentally breaking your chapstick. You've broken a perfectly good thing, and now you're worse off for it. Broken chapstick. You had one job. And also brought to you by dead roses, because dead roses smell the exact same as living roses. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming. So this new segment called Blessings in Action is going to be a segment where I talk to people or talk about something that either has been a blessing to other people or someone who needs your assistance. And today's episode of this is very special, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say. In this segment, we're going to be talking to people that could really use your help. As a Christian, I believe that it is very essential that we help other people when we can, and so I'm very glad that I have my cousin, Marshaya Symone, as the first person on this segment.
Hello.
Alright, so tell us about yourself.
My name is Marshaya Symone. I am 18 years old. I just graduated from Glen Haven Academy. I love to do makeup. I love children, especially my nephew, Liam. And I love my cousin.
So I know that you just graduated high school. Tell us a little bit about your future plans.
I really want to be an esthetician. An esthetician is basically like a dermatologist, but way more fun. I will be working with the skin. And as I mentioned before, I like to do makeup, but I want to be able to reach girls in a way that not just shows, okay, let's just put makeup on your face and then you're pretty. I want to teach them how to take care of their skin. You know, girls and guys actually take care of their skin, and that will really enhance your beauty. I want people to feel comfortable in their own skin, and I will teach them how to do that through aesthetics. I want to attend Leon's Beauty School and participate in their aesthetics program. Leon's Beauty School is located in Greensboro. Right off of Coliseum Boulevard, right across from the Greensboro Coliseum. It's a great school. I toured it, and it's amazing. The people are very nice and very sweet, very helpful, and I'm really excited about being able to be a part of that. I have a couple of setbacks and a couple of milestones that I have to cross before I can be able to get to that point of my life, but that is my goal.
Okay, so you mentioned a couple setbacks that you have. Why don't you tell us about some of those setbacks?
Okay, well, May 8th of 2018, my house caught on fire. That kind of put me and my family in a difficult position, especially with trying to get to college, and especially with other things that we already had going on. And it just kind of caught us by surprise. I woke up in the middle of the night to flames around my bed. And that was one of the most scariest things that you can ever imagine, especially because you see those type of things on movies and TV shows, and then you just kind of sit back and it's like, oh, that never happened to me. And then when it happens to you, you're traumatized. That's a sight that I will never get out of my mind, ever. And my family and I lived in a hotel for about 3 months, and we're finally back home now. But right now, I guess college financially, it's not as big of a priority as I want it to be. So that's just one of the setbacks that I'm experiencing right now.
Okay, so what can me and the viewers do to assist you in this goal to get to college?
Well, I have a registry at a couple different places, as well as a GoFundMe. And right now, there are a lot of different things as far as like school supplies, dorm essentials, hygiene necessities, tuition, books. There's a lot of different things that need to be taken care of, as well as uniforms. The school that I'm going to requires me to wear a uniform every day. So there's a lot of different things. So between the GoFundMe and getting that money to be able to pay tuition, and the registries to be able to get the essentials that I need to be able to survive, those are just two things that will be able to help. Especially due to the fact that my school does not accept student loans, because in their eyes the tuition is low. In my eyes, it's not low at all. But because it's only $5,000, it's not required for them to accept student loans, so they don't. So everything has to be paid out of pocket before I can attend.
So that's something that I know that some of the people watching could probably help with. Honestly, if it's laid upon your heart to help, I would really appreciate it, and I'm sure she would. I understand kind of where you're coming from as far as school goes, because as some of you know, I graduated from college last year, and the tuition was lower than like a 4-year. So I understand it, like some people seeing a low tuition in their eyes and being like, oh, you can handle that, but like money is still money, and it don't grow on trees, and everybody doesn't have money, and everybody doesn't have like just money to give out, regardless of like the amount. Different people are at different levels. So I am very happy that you were eager to share your story, because I know that there are some people out here that will be willing to help you. So I just hope that whatever God lays on your heart to give, that you do so, and all of the links to everything will be down in the description below. And I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for letting me be on your show.
Yeah, of course. And remember that God loves you all, and so do I.
And so do I.
And we'll see you next time. Okay, so the song suggestion for this week is honestly just something that's really funny. It's not even like a serious thing. Last week I had 2 songs, or an EP and a song. This week there's literally only one thing, and it's a song that's like been stuck in my head recently, and only because I went and saw a certain movie. So if you saw Avengers Infinity War, then you most definitely heard this song. It is the song that introduced the Guardians of the Galaxy in the first scene that they were in. That song is called The Rubber Band Man. It's a song by the group called The Spinners, and it is just hilarious. All the music that is used in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, both Volume 1 and 2, it's just so great, just because it fits like the time, and it just sets those movies into it gives them a different feel, and it's a great feeling. And the fact that they used like a song that would be used in one of their movies to introduce them, instead of like something like orchestral or something, or like the main Avengers theme or anything else, it gives it that little extra flavor, and it just makes them like even more important in the movie. But yeah, that song is just really fun. I mean, even if you listen to the words, that song is literally it's hilarious. It's talking about a guy playing a rubber band as an instrument. That's pretty much what the song is about. It's hilarious, and yeah, it's just made to make you laugh. So that's my song suggestion for this week, The Rubber Band Man. That's it. The photo of the week this week is another picture that I took in California, but this week's picture is one that's it's very interesting. I almost didn't get this picture, and yeah, it was just one of those, I kept firing, and then all of a sudden it happened. But the picture is this. It is a polar bear that is eating something, and then it just looked at me. That's it. It looked at me. And so it's got like food in its hand, and it just looks back at me like, I'm trying to eat. What are you doing? And I just thought this was like a really great picture. It's another thing about like just like timing. I talked about last week how the picture I got last week was all about the timing. That's what this picture was all about too. That and not blowing out the guy's fur, because white. It's all white, so a lot of fur. But yeah, that was just perfect timing, and I love pictures like that. If you want to see more pictures like this and really like anything that I've ever taken, go follow my @Kerns Productions Instagram account, because I post every day. I post every day, and you'll get new photography from all over, from people, places, animals, whatever, doesn't matter. So that's all for this week's episode of Kerns Korner. Make sure you leave a like and a comment down below telling me what was your favorite, if you like the new segments for this week, and yeah, what you want to see next. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media links below, and subscribe so you don't miss anything else. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. See you next week.